Hello, I'm Ryan Zink, and this is Creative Intuitive Solutions, where I teach you how to use your imagination, your creativity, along with your clairvoyance to find solutions and to create change and to really start thinking outside the box. So tonight I want to talk about crisis, and I'm going to give you my definition of what that is, and this came to me tonight as I was working this energetic space for myself. So crisis is something that is irrecoverable. Irrecoverable. It's something that you don't feel that you can recover from. And in some instances, you may not be able to recover from it fully. It's always going to kind of leave its mark. So that is kind of a crisis. And there are many kinds of crisis. If you lose your home, that's a crisis. If you are broke and don't have any money, that's a crisis. If you can't take care of yourself, that's a crisis. If somebody dies, that's a crisis. If a disaster hits your town, like a tornado or a hurricane or a fire, that is a crisis. If a bomb is dropped in your country, that is a crisis. If somebody that you love is murdered, that is a crisis. If you are addicted to drugs, or even if you're an alcoholic or drink too much, that is a crisis. If you're homeless, that's a crisis. So you get the idea of what crisis is, and you see it every day in the media. So crisis is fed throughout humanity to keep humanity in crisis. And another word that people use for the word crisis is fear, which is kind of a subcategory of crisis, is fear. To me, crisis would be the main kind of category, and then fear would be like a subcategory of crisis. And I just wanted to share tonight how I found this energetic space inside of me. And I'd been carrying around this crisis energy my entire life. So for a little background, when I was born, my mother put me into a crisis nursery for 6 months, and we were separated. She went into an alcoholic treatment program, and I stayed in with foster parents for 6 months. So that was kind of an early crisis. And then in my adolescence, I was also molested. And that was kind of a crisis, and not the actual act, but the secret, carrying around the secret until I became an adult. I carried around that secret. And it was hard to expose that had happened to me. Another crisis, a short crisis, it didn't last that long, but was coming out. My sexuality, that felt like a crisis. So there are all these different little traumas throughout my life that I've had, and I don't feel like a victim by any means, but some of them have been a real crisis for me. And I've also lost many family members. My parents are no longer alive. All of my grandparents are deceased. And that losing people, like I said, loved ones to death, can be a crisis. So tonight, in my energetic space that I was clearing, I started to release this energy of crisis. And I could slowly feel it leave my body, but it sat about right here at my second chakra, about northwest of my second chakra, right here, right below my ribcage, right here. And I always have this tightness right there that is still releasing and loosening right now as I speak. But I was able to kind of release that energy tonight. But specifically why I'm making this video is for anyone that is in crisis. It's New Year. It's a happy New Year. I live in Northwest Indiana. It's about 7:38 on the 31st and p.m. And we're about to go into the new year. So I've cleared this energy, and I'm really excited to go into the new year having integrated this now tonight. And I wanted to talk about awareness a little bit, because if you're not aware of something, it can be right within you all the time, and you may not be aware of it, but you can feel it. And when you become aware of something, that's when you can focus in on it, help it release, and give it some healing, and help it to integrate. And it doesn't have to be hard. And energy work is very fast. So when you focus on something in your mind's eye, and you're looking at the energy of it, you can start to help move it and clear it and release it and see what it is and see what's attached to it relatively easy. It's quicker than a thought, quicker than the speed of light. It's instantaneous. So it's instantaneous relief that you feel within your spirit and within your body. And what's different about working with things energetically is, look at my walls, they're blue. And if I wanted to paint these walls a different color, it would maybe take me probably a day, because I may have to do 2 coats and let it dry in between. But energy doesn't work like that on the non-physical. Right when you focus in on something and have the desire and the want to heal it, integrate it, and change it, it's that quick. So healing can really be spontaneous and kind of miraculous when you know how to focus on energy, see what it is, look at it, say hello to it, have a little conversation with it, help it change and help it release. You can integrate something really quick within the matter of minutes. So I wanted to share that with people today, that you don't always have to suffer. It can be quicker than you know. But all of these parts or aspects, like tonight for me it was a crisis. That was the aspect I was looking at. There's so many different parts and facets to a person that you've really got to spend time with yourself and kind of devote time to healing if that's something you want to do. So that's where you'll hear spiritual people talk about discipline. So it's not in discipline as in punishment, but it's in discipline that you're going to give yourself the time to to look at yourself, integrate, and heal. And that's what discipline means with spirituality. It's not that you've got to eat carrots every day, or light incense, or wear gems, or not eat meat, or be a gym rat, or go for a jog every day. It's not that type of discipline. It's just the type of discipline between you and yourself that you're going to do that for yourself, to look at energy within, heal it, integrate it, and move forward. It's kind of like it's more of a commitment, not really a discipline. It's more of an agreement you have with yourself than anything. So anyone that's in crisis tonight, or that has been their whole life, where it's just been sitting in their body, here's to you. Here's a little bit of light from the candle. And just take a deep breath. And if you're having a great New Year's and you've never experienced a crisis, cheers to you with the candle and the light. That's awesome. But if you have suffered from crisis, or have been a victim to crisis, and haven't figured out how to heal it or release it or move past it in some way, this is for you. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2020. This is Ryan Zink at Creative Intuitive Solutions.